So now you're living the dream. You're at JetBlue, first officer. Hopefully looking at that captain upgrade down the road. Um, any advice? I mean, we're kind of getting to the end of our time here. Like, what would you say to that young guy or girl who maybe a young career changer trying to figure out what the next steps are? Like, what do you say to somebody like that?
Yeah, great question. Well, the first thing that I would say is this. This is unprecedented times for the airlines, right?
It is.
So if you are in school now, you're considering it, this is the time where you really can write your own chapters as far as what you want to be and where you want to go in aviation, right? Because everybody needs you as a pilot, right? So my advice would be to first and foremost be open to continually being a student, right? Like
Good point.
you have to really be honest with yourself in this space. It's like you are going to, from the time that you decide that you want to fly an airplane, probably to the time you retire, you're going to be learning something, right? You are literally going to have to constantly be on this quest to either better yourself, or you're going to be getting introduced to new things, right? There's, JetBlue has 3 different aircrafts now. If you're interested in flying new airplane, you're still, so there's a lot of things that even within your own company that you are going to have to adapt to, and so you have to be open to learning. The other thing is, find something that works for you. I think, as I talk to people a lot of times, when they ask me what route they should go, my answer to that is I don't know. I don't know what route is good for you, right? You have to take an inventory of what's important to you. Sit down and say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this is where I want to be. Do I want to fly cargo? Do I want to fly for the government? Do I want to fly passengers? Do I want to fly? And make yourself a roadmap and be honest with yourself about where you want to end up and how you want things to go for yourself. And then from there, it's just, again, the most important thing that I could say is commit yourself to making sure you're doing the things that make you better every time you go up, right? Or every time that you
Love that.
open a door,
Yeah.
right? Try to learn something new. I mean, again, my situation is a little different because I had to make sure I kind of got through everything with one shot.
Hmm.
But, try to focus on really listening to the people who are where you're trying to be, right? So listen to the people who are your instructors, listen to the people who are instructing your ground schools, because that information, I'm going to tell you, all that information stays with you all the way through, right? So
Yeah.
from the day one, if you're private,
Hmm.
you're going to be revisiting stuff all the way through to a professional pilot. And trust me, you're not going to want to kind of breeze through or skip through or try to find the shortest route through things without really trying to grasp as much as you can, from the people who are around you, or the people that are where you want to be.
That's the only way to build a steady foundation, right? So, yeah, that's great advice. You hit on a few things, right? What I'm hearing is everyone has their own path, right?
Absolutely.
I'm hearing to plan your work your plan is what I like to say,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
The 5-year plan, sit down, write it down. I
Yeah.
wrote up a 5-year plan in the middle of the pandemic. I wonder where I am now.
Yeah.
And I wrote out, like, what am I going to do for the next 5 years? I wrote out a
Yeah.
5-year
Yeah.
plan
Yeah.
and listen and learn. Listen and
Yeah.
learn, right?
Particularly, there's so, like, again, I mean, there's so much information out there, right? Like, so, I know that there are times when people are, they just like, oh man, this is like drinking from a fire hose, right? Like, it's important to balance that time, but again, like, it's just particularly important in this industry to be, adaptive, and to really just kind of focus on being that, just be a perpetual student, and it will never hurt you to continue to learn,
No?
and so that's a really important thing that I think I saw a lot, you know, even with, I remember instructors there at Wayman. Leslie used to always have a book open. You know, she would always like, she was always reading something. I was always so impressed by just like, wow, you know, so that goes a long way in this industry. People will reference, you know, I just interviewed for a position in our training department, and they reference things that happened to me when I was training students. So it never goes away, right? So that kind of continual focus on learning is key to this.
Excellent, excellent.